Hey, what's up? This is Sarah Lee Day with another episode of Dubsado Tidbits, the things you need to know about Dubsado delivered in bite-sized pieces. Last week we talked about the scheduler template, and today we're going to move on to forms. Now in the forms section, you actually have several different types of forms, and each of these types has different functionality and there's different things you can do with them depending on the type. You'll notice at the top of each one there's a plus icon, and that is what you would click to create a new form with just a blank canvas. Questionnaires also has this little upload form. You can always upload a PDF document as a questionnaire. And then up here in the top right, there's a template library. And in this template library, you're going to have lots of different pre-made forms that you could utilize for your business, or at least as a starting place. Now, back in the forms section, you'll notice if I hover over any of these example forms that are in here, it comes up with these icons, these two little icons next to each one. This gray one is a copy icon, and when you click it, it's going to make an exact copy of whatever form you were hovered over. Now, if for some reason you don't want that form, or it's an accident, or you're just done with the form, you can actually hover over it and click the little trash can in the orange block, and that will delete the form. Again, you're going to have a notice here, making sure that that's what you want to do. Click yes to delete. All right, let's take a quick look at a sample contract. So in the contract area, you're going to have a place for the contract name. That is client facing, so make sure that it's a name that's going to make sense for your clients to see. And then you've got several different options of building blocks that you can use to create your contract. And all of the information in here is customizable. You can pull in your client's information, project information. You can add initials for them to initial next to important information. You can add text. At the bottom, you definitely want to make sure that you have your signature lines for your client to sign and possibly one for yourself to sign as well, depending on your service. Then back at the top, we have settings. And the settings for this form include an expiration date that could be relative to your job start date, your end date, or when this contract was applied to the job. You can set it as a fixed date. So if you're sending contracts and you have a fixed date that it's always going to be, or you just want to set this as fixed date in the template and you're going to set that date with each individual contract, you can do that as well. That would just be selecting a specific date and time for that contract to expire, or you can choose no expiration. And these settings can always be updated in individual projects once you've applied this template to a project. This is just the basic template settings for whatever is going to be most prominent for most of your projects. Next, you have default font. You've got a list of different fonts that you can use as the default in your form. Default size, same thing. This is a default size of font for your form. And default color. You can use the color picker, or if you know your actual hex code, you can put that in here as well for the default color. Completion alert. So whenever a client signs your contract, they're going to get this completion alert. And at the top, it'll have a header, and then there'll be a body. So it could be something like, thank you, your contract has been recorded. Or maybe it's, you're booked. Thank you for signing your contract. I can't wait to get started. Something like that. If you don't do anything here, a completion alert will still pop up and it'll just have a default message that may or may not be on brand with your business. Lastly, we have these privacy settings. You can set this to private or public. Private is a setting that will require a password for your client to access, and you'll have to have the client portal set up for them to access this through the portal. Public is probably a more common setting to use just because it is easier and your clients are not having to feel like they're jumping through hoops to sign in, use a password just to access the form. Now, obviously, anytime that you make changes, you want to come up here and save. You'll notice that this save has a drop down with 3 different options. You can save and close, which will just save the changes and close the form. You can do a save as if, let's just say this was a template that you had already created, you made some edits to it and you wanted to save it as a new copy. You could do a save as, or you can do a save and preview, and that's going to save your changes and then open it up into a preview document that you can look at, and when you click on things, it's not going to be editable. It'll just be the document itself. Now you can also just click save, and that will save your changes just to the screen. Let's save and close, and that takes us back out here to the form screen. And that's it for today's tidbit. For more information about receiving updates, requesting future episodes, or getting help with your own Dubsado account, check out the links in the description below this video or visit saraleeday.com. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.